Now let's learn about the loop, its real use cases and behind the scene. And as you already know that loops are one of the most essential concepts in any programming language that allow us to repeatedly execute a block of code as long as a certain condition is true. Probably you can ask me a question that why loop? So let me tell you, my friends. Let's suppose you want to print the 5 lines of a star pattern just like this. Let me increase the font. Yeah. So now let's suppose you want to print these 5 lines of a star pattern, right? Then how do we print this pattern? By writing 5 lines of code, just like as I am writing over here. Inside it, I am going to write star space star, star space star space star and star, and let's copy it 5 times. Yeah, and let's run it, and here is the output. Can you print this star pattern using 5 lines of code? No, it's an inefficient way to print this star pattern, and it's a not recommended way as well. There is a dry run principle, DRY. D for do not, R for repeat, Y for yourself. Do not repeat yourself, right? Where you have to avoid the code duplication. But here we are breaking the dry principle. So by considering the dry principle, we can leverage the power of loops over here to print this star pattern. In order to print these 5 lines of a star pattern, we can remove the 4 lines of code from here, and we can leverage the power of loops to repeat these lines of code, these 1 line of code, until the certain condition is true. That means we have to repeat this line of code to next 5 times, right? Even more precise way, we can print this star pattern by using a single star sign. We will see later in this video, right? Let's take another example. Let's suppose you have 10 button element, right? Button 1, button 2, button 3, 4, 10, right? Let's suppose these are the 10 HTML button elements, and you want to attach an event handlers on each of these buttons. Then how can you do it? Individually? If yes, then again we are breaking the dry principle. Instead, we can use the loops over here, right? And this example we'll also see later in this video. It sounds amazing. That's why we must need to learn loops in JavaScript, right?